Hi, my name is Jeffrey Harrington, and I'm a Chico State Career Advisor here in the Career Center. Today, we're going to learn about a couple of things. Number 1, Handshake. What is it? How do we use it? Number 2, appointments. Number 3, career fairs and events. Number 4, our wonderful career handbook. And last but certainly not least, Focus 2. Handshake is our career platform that allows you to search for jobs, internships, part-time, full-time, and career-related events. It's awesome. In order to get there, you got to log in. You do that with your Chico State username and portal. Let me show you how. First off, let's log into the Chico State Handshake portal. It's really easy. Type in Chico, pops right up. You log in with your Chico State username and password. All right, you've made it. Here's the landing page. In the upper left-hand corner, you have a Jobs tab. Then, an Events tab for local events on campus. 3, a search tool for finding employers. And on the right-hand side, you can look at your messages from employers or send messages to employers. You can click on your Career Center tab, and you can bring you to the home page where you can make appointments with us. That's a really cool tool. And then on the far right, you can make your profile. Let's start with jobs. Click on the upper left-hand corner and click on the Jobs tab. I like to search for jobs by location because most of us, whether we want to admit it or not, are location bound. So if you use the location filter, you can search by city. You can search by how many miles you want to drive, maybe up to, let's say, 25 miles or 24 miles. Click Show Results, and boom, now it tells you there are 254 positions within 24 miles of Chico. If I'm looking for a full-time job, I can select the Full-Time Job tab. That took 254 jobs and narrowed it down to 91. Now, if I don't want full-time jobs, let me unselect that and let me just click on part-time positions. And right now I can see there are 156 part-time positions within 24 miles of Chico. Additionally, if I'm only looking for on-campus positions, I'm going to uncheck the part-time button and click on campus. And as of right now, this will fluctuate every day, we have 22 positions found on campus, whether that's an athletic event staff, box office employee, advancement services student assistant. And if you don't know what any of these are, just click on them. And once you're in, you can scroll down, check when the application deadline is, check when it was posted, check the estimated salary, read the job description. Don't forget to click View Full Description. It's a really helpful piece. Read it all. Yes, I totally match this job. And then click Apply. And once you click Apply, it'll bring you to a little dialog box. Typically, it'll ask you for one or two things. Either to attach your resume and or any other required documents. In this case, this position is asking for your class schedule and availability. Super simple. Then you click Submit. That's it. If you're looking to make an appointment with us and you haven't logged into Handshake yet, let me show you how to do it. First and foremost, make your way to our Career Center homepage and click on the yellow Make an Appointment box. Once you're here, then it'll ask you to schedule an appointment with a career advisor. Click that drop-down menu. Then click Schedule an Appointment Now. It's that easy. Now that you're here, click Schedule a New Appointment. Now once you're in this category, you're going to select your college based on your major. So if you are a business student, you click the College of Business. If you're an agriculture student, you click the College of Agriculture. So let me go ahead and select this. Now that you're here, you select the type of appointment you want and with which advisor. In this case, in my example, I'm using Art Cox. You can either come in for a standard 30-minute appointment, a personal statement conversation, it's usually about 60 minutes, or practice interview. If you ever need more time, talk with your advisor and we can figure that out after our first meeting. And for this example, I'm going to click a standard 30-minute appointment. Now that you're here, you select your appointment medium. Virtual or phone appointment or in person, depending on your advisor. If you want, you can type in this what can we help you with box and leave a little note for your advisor. After you do that, let me click virtual. Maybe I need some resume help. I'm going to click request. Boom. Once you do that, your appointment's made and you'll get an email with your phone appointment, your in-person appointment, or your URL to your video appointment. There are multiple access points to finding information about our career fairs. Oftentimes, they're in the banner like this one at the very top. If for some reason you don't see it, the banner, just scroll down and click on our Career Fairs Info tab like this. Now once I'm here, I can see the entire lineup for the semester that we're currently enrolled in. In this case, it's spring 2022. Now there are multiple fairs we have, and they are moderately major specific. Some of them are all majors, some of them are honed and specific to a type of college or major. In this case, we have a software and IT fair, a technical career fair week, a agriculture career fair, career and internship fair, an education hiring fair, a health and human services fair. Don't worry, you can go to all of them. It does not matter what your major is to attend, but sometimes we have major specific employers that are attending. So you're going to pick which one is most relevant to you or go to all. That'd be my suggestion. What you'll also notice is the mode of the fair. Majority of our fairs this semester are planned to be in person. They'll say BMU Auditorium, University Farm Pavilion, and we have one virtual fair, which is the Education Hiring Fair for teachers, counselors, anyone wanting to be involved in a K-12 system. If you are going to an in-person fair, it'll tell you the time, date, and location. So let's click on the Spring 22 fair and take a look. It'll tell you where it's located. In this case, it's going to be at the BMU. It'll give you a checklist of what to look for the fair and how to schedule an appointment with an advisor to ask more questions. We also have a list of career fair events, so like prep seminars, which we'll show you in just a minute. I also want to show you the option for a virtual fair. It looks slightly different. If you click on the Education Hiring Fair, it'll ask you to register. And registering just allows you to see all the employers coming. And once you register, it'll log you into Handshake, because we host our virtual fairs, if it's virtual, on Handshake. All right, first things first, let's show you how to register. Click the big blue button that says register. Once you're here, you can see all the employers that are coming and the sessions they're offering for students. So in this case, I'm going to click on the very first one, Fairfield. And Fairfield allows me to see that they have individual sessions, and they have 17 of them, which is a really nice touch. If I click on that, it'll allow me to sign up for the time and date and the person, if there are more than one recruiter coming, who I want to meet and talk with. So in this case, Ken Whitmore is the Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources, and I'm going to click at this 1:10 Pacific Standard Time and confirm and sign up for that appointment right now. Once I have this confirmation, I can then see my sessions on the right-hand side over here. I can see that I have one registered appointment during the career fair to meet with this employer. This is similar to that of going up to a table at a career fair and talking with an employer about your experiences and why you might want to work there. Instead of it being a natural walk up to a table, it is a structured version where you are signing up one-on-one to meet with an employer. And you can do this for multiple employers with multiple different companies over and over and over again during the time of the fair if it's virtual. Now we're on to the Career Handbook. I like to start here on page 5. Page 5 has our competencies and attributes employers from across the nation statistically look for in employees. And right beneath that, we have a descriptive category on how to write your skills statements for your resume. And that's a really important piece, is how you describe your experience in a past job, in a club, in a volunteer experience. Here's how we do it. If you're in an appointment with me, I would ask you, what skills did you learn? So let's look at this skills statement. Maybe someone says, I learned customer service and I learned some leadership skills. Okay, great. Let's start there. Then let's then add in a what we call a power verb or a descriptive verb, right? So an action statement. Maybe you provided customer service or you demonstrated leadership skills. So we're building the sentence from the inside out. Everything's built around the skill. And then what I like to add last is what we call the task or your evidence of success. And like it's the who, what, when, where, why, or how. Now you don't have to answer all of those in the last part of the sentence, but these are the questions you're going to ask yourself to round out your skill statement. So in this case, provided outgoing customer service, I'd say when? Oh, while fulfilling complex and detailed catering orders. Okay, cool. Now we've rounded out part of that sentence. You demonstrated leadership skills. Why is this important? Well, it led to promotion opportunities. Great. Well, let's build out that sentence. If you have quantifiable actions, like you increased sales by a certain amount of percentage, or you upsold by blank, or you managed a team of X amount of people, well then let's tell the reader that so they can really glean the full exposure of what you did in that position. If you scroll down, you'll see page 6 in our PDF has a lot of verbs, a lot of different verbs put in categories, and then in those categories in alphabetical order for you to then not use the same word like facilitated over and over again on your resume. On page 7 of our PDF, we have a couple Microsoft Word tips on how to add a line to your resume, how to move dates over to the right side of your page if you're trying to make a date column, or how to just adjust the line spacing to kind of zhuzh your resume to get it to that desired one page for many employers. Now, page 8 is where the magic happens. This is a really good general resume guideline outline for you to start building your resume. We always encourage students to start with their first name, last name, contact information at the top. It's usually what employers need to see as they thumb through resumes. Then we usually go to your next best skill. Most people, it's their education. So we had your school, your degree, if you've studied abroad, if you have any certificates, or maybe you speak some other languages and you learned that in school, all that can be built in to your education section. For some of us who don't have a lot of additional content like work experience, volunteer experience, you might have related coursework. It helps fill out your resume. Also, you could use your related coursework if it's specifically necessary to do the job in which you're applying to. Another wonderful reason you would add your coursework in. You might have course projects, you might have research experience, all that could be a subset or an additional section beneath your education. Then we jump into your experience. We usually have 4 pieces for your experience: the title of the job, the company or organization, the city, state, and the date. Now, those can go in a lot of different orders, whether you stack that content on different lines, you put it all in one line, you use a line for your experience category. It doesn't matter how you format it as long as it's consistent and easy to read for the employer. We usually go from what we call reverse chronological order, so the most recent position to the least recent position all the way down your resume, per section. So if you've had research projects or volunteer experiences, we often use a term called campus and community involvement for that of like campus jobs, campus positions and clubs, volunteering. It's a nice kind of catch-all. Whether you have awards or honors, or if you have some highlighted key skills you want to highlight, all these sections are kind of up for grabs. Depending on what skills and experiences you have, your categories are going to be different. How you write your content is going to be different. And truly, depending on the job you're applying to, we might recraft your skills statements to meet the needs of that employer who's going to be reading your resume upon completion. Now, pages 9 through 17 are all sample resumes. And as you can tell as I scroll through this, they look pretty different. Some of them use lines across the page, some of them bold headers, some of them stack their content, meaning the job title, the city, state, the date. But as you can see as we scroll through here, they're all a little different depending on the needs of the student and the needs of the employer who will be reading this. If you're a creative student who's looking for a creative job, you might have a slightly creative resume. But the one thing you will notice is that we don't encourage students to put faces or pictures on resumes because oftentimes employers don't want to see it because it creates a bias. If you're looking to make a CV, we definitely have a CV example in here. It's one example. It's not the example, but it's one example on how to create a CV. So if you're going into an industry that requires that, it's a good starting place. We also have a wonderful cover letter outline or guideline at the very end of our handbook. Now, I think that's really important because cover letters are tricky. They're hard to write because oftentimes we don't know who we're writing them to or who our ultimate reader is. But that's where I would encourage you to come into our office and we can help craft out what your intro paragraph can look like, how you can hook the reader into your skills and your experiences. And then with your body paragraphs, we're going to talk about how your directly transferable skills that you learned in a job, in class, as a club president, directly relates to the job skills and the position in which you're applying to. And then your closing paragraph will say something like, I'm excited to interview with you. Thank you so much. Can't wait to be on your team. We're trying to imply that we'd be a good fit for them. Now, in 30 seconds, I just described what a cover letter is. They're not easy. They take time. They take intention. They take doing research. And truly, it takes writing and rewriting and writing and rewriting to really get a good product. So like I said before, if you want help, please make an appointment. That's the reason we have jobs. Focus 2 is a career assessment where you get to learn more about yourself. Now, oftentimes you'll hear me joke that it's kind of like a BuzzFeed quiz about yourself. But instead of it telling you which, Disney princess you might be, it tells you what kind of jobs and experiences might be best suited for you and your skills. Let me show you where to find it. So from our homepage, if you scroll down, you will see a couple ways to enter Focus 2. Now, always on the left, you'll see the Focus 2 login. That's always there. But I want to take you to the Focus 2 page that we've created and built just for you. So go ahead and click on Focus 2, and what you can see is a drop-down menu with what is Focus 2, testimonials of students and faculty and staff who have taken it, how to use it, the benefits of it, who created it, what is all this jazz, why is it so important. But truly, I like to start with the Career Planning Foundations categories, the self-assessments, the jobs you can explore, and where to go after this. So let's dive in and log into your Focus 2 account. So I'm going to click on the Focus 2 login on the left, and you're going to log in with your Chico State username and password. If this is your first time logging into Focus 2, the main screen will prompt you to answer a couple of questions about how you heard about Focus 2. Answer those honestly, and then let's jump into this main landing page. If we scroll down, I'm going to focus today on the 5 self-assessments that you can take within a matter of minutes. The very first one is called the Work Interest Assessment, that gives you an assessment about your work interests. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. There is a personality assessment. There's a leisure assessment about how you like to liege. There's a values assessment about your personal values, and a skills assessment. And each one of these you will take individually. They're about 3 minutes apiece. And then the cool part is at the end you can combine your results to see what types of jobs you might be best suited for. So let's jump in. Each assessment will have a slightly different interface or question that you might be asked. In this case, the work interest asks you, on a scale of 1 to 5 stars, to what degree would you like to do blank? You're just going to answer these honestly. I'll do the first one with you. To what degree would you enjoy designing graphic art images and illustrations for advertising media? Well, in that case, if I was a 5 out of 5 stars, I'd click the 5. If I was a 4 or a 3, in this case, I think I'm a 3. Once you've completed this page, you're just going to click continue and move your way through the assessment. This won't take you more than about 3 or 4 minutes. Once you've completed more than one assessment, you can start to combine them. In my example, I've completed 4 out of 5. If I click the combine button, it'll allow me to click the leisure, the skills, the personality, the values, and all the assessments I've completed. For this example, I did not yet complete my work interest. If I click continue, what it'll allow me to do is see my results, and these results are really kind of a neat piece. It gives you a series of occupations that appeared in 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 out of 5 crossover assessments. And I like this piece because oftentimes it separates the feeling of my values and my skills might be conflicting, or my values, my skills, and my leisure activity interests might be conflicting. This gives you all the crossover. So in my case, if I click this plus, it'll show me 17 occupations that appeared in 3 out of my 5 assessments, or in this case 3 out of 4 that I've completed. Now these categories are great. It shows me the occupation, it shows me what type of majors best suit that occupation, it shows you national salaries, the type of job family or category in which you can find it in, and in which assessments in which those jobs crossed over. Currently, I have 3 out of 4 of my assessments that I submitted that had crossover jobs. This is the hard part. These occupations are not a crystal ball. These occupations are found based on skills and interests that thousands of people who have your similar skills and interests often gravitate to. I think that's an important piece. This doesn't tell you have to do these jobs. This gives you jobs or occupations and areas of possible professional growth you might want to go into. After you've combined your assessments, you can use the Home tab in the upper left to navigate back to this home screen, but I want to show you one final piece that we're going to talk about today. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see a Review and Print My Portfolio. That's my favorite button. So what it allows you to do is look at the back end of all of the assessments that you've taken. I just click Select All. and it'll build your PDF version of a portfolio of all of your back-end results from your assessments. So if you're interested in talking about your results and exploring what all these numbers and letters mean, stop by our office, make an appointment, and we'd be happy to discuss your results with you.